screaming. It just pumps you out so much. So I think a live audience, in my opinion, when I used to compete back in 2019, I played my best FC. So hopefully they do it as well.
And especially with that Champions League famous anthem blaring out around the studio, it just gets you in the mood, doesn't it? We're underway already for the Champions League 2024 Grand Finals. It's quarter-finals up first. And we are kicking off with Matthias Bonanno of Manchester City up against DANIPITBULL of Juventus Desire. We're going to be in for an early chance, potentially so. And
it's a huge step.
Yeah. Nice 2 tackles. Not the first one, but the second one was extremely brilliant.
And of course, as this game's underway, there's also another match-up too. We will be jumping across both games for you as we see Montaxa of FC Lorient against Johnny, the giant German. Remember, 9-minute halves, straight knockout. We will use extra time, we will use penalties if we need to, and I mean, if it's anything like the FC Pro Open finals, we can praise. We could be in for quite a decent day today.
We're going to have fun if it's the same as FC Pro finals.
Because I think we had penalties in that a few times. We had late drama, last-minute goals. I'll be in for a chance early doors. It's Donnarumma off his line. I mean, Ryan, we need to speak about it. The squad restrictions, I know Ryan and Rich and Grab, spoke about at the start of the show. They've had a few weeks now to get used to this build. 15 million coins, 3 icons maximum, and Champions League items only. Pass surely will be played. What a save from Donnarumma down both ends. Still could be alive. Did he drop back?
Offside.
It's off,
He won't count. But to the point I made, how do you think they're accustomed to this build now?
I think absolutely, and obviously there's a few changes potentially throughout the 8 competitors. I see Vidic in at centre-back for DANIPITBULL. Obviously DANIPITBULL, he defends very aggressively. You would have noticed that chance sprang from him dragging out Vidic, trying to anticipate a pass or an interception, which didn't work out.
Well, it's literally attack here in the Champions League. What a start this has been in our first quarter-final game. DANIPITBULL's chance now to get forward. It's the first ever time he's been in the top 8 in an E-Champions League. And is he going to make the most of it now? Lofted into Drogba, who did time it green, and it was Cafu that stood in his way. We can see you at home, by the way. Let us know who you are backing to go the full way here in the Champions League. And as I did tease, Gravison, there is 2 games underway at the same time.
Yes, we can see it's now Montaxa playing against Johnny. Johnny is now holding the ball with a curious 4-4-1-1, the only player in the competition using that formation. But Montaxa has eliminated already PH Sin, so let's see if he can bring down another giant.
You're going to see that a lot though. The ball in behind from Johnny with the long ball pass play style. Here he is again, step over. Missed time. That's a huge mistake there. Normally he greens those. If he greens that, that's a 1-goal lead in the first 10 minutes.
But that's the thing about playing in front of a live audience. I mean, it's probably one of the first things that Johnny has thought about. Like, you know, having people beside you, it's hard.
Does it make you just overthink things?
Probably, yeah. And nervous as well to maybe not green time as much as you're doing at home.
Well, that was R9 as well. You expect him to at least hit the target. Montaxa, as we said, he was a giant killer, as we saw in the knockout stages. I mean, PH dominated that first 45 minutes. We were commentating on it. We couldn't quite believe what Montaxa turned around, but it was really an E-Champions League special, wasn't it?
It really was. You have to give Montaxa credit for staying in the game. I'll be honest, that first 45 minutes was probably the best we've seen Peters in play since the FC Pro Open. And you see Musiala in at right back, which is an interesting situation. Score update, Matthias Bonanno 1-0 up against DANIPITBULL.
Well, we've missed the goal. As soon as we can give it to, we will. This is what we missed. It's been Matthias Bonanno of Manchester City that leads by a goal to 0 in his quarter-final game. It came from a corner. We could be in for an opening goal here as well. Lofted in. There's Didier Drogba. And there's Johnny. All 6'7" of them rising up with an opening goal here in these quarter-final matches in the E-Champions League. How good would that be, Gravison, just to get your first goal for both Matthias and Johnny, just to calm yourself into this atmosphere?
There's not much you can do defensively in this situation, maybe pull up the keeper. But for me, the hardest thing for Montaxa now is, you know, Johnny only conceded 4 goals in the whole competition. So you're put in a tough situation because you just gotta score 2.
Well, back over here, DANIPITBULL.
Sloppy.
Trying to find his way back into the ties. Getting a few fortunate bounce backs there. That was quite a risky shot to come from that far out from R9.
Nice ball.
Lofted in, and he could be on for a second if Mbappe.
Just off.
Just close. Offside.
Smart play there from Matthias. He's somebody that he sort of computes and that downloads information from his opponent mentally. We saw in the first game against Rickard in the knockouts where he struggled in the first 60 minutes. conceded 3 goals. It was 3-0 down. Then he got accustomed to how his opponent played, and after that, it just felt as if he came into his own. And I feel as if already Matthias is sort of understanding how DANIPITBULL's attacking.
Pedri and Mbappe. DANIPITBULL.
Nice defense.
He's had some massive upsets on his way through to this knockout stage here. We asked you at home to get involved in who you are backing. Emre Yilmaz, some love for him. Remember, he's the defending eChampions League winner. He's in action in our next round of quarter-final games. Montaxa getting a lot of love. It's no surprise he is after the year that he's had. French League 1 champion. And Mane Bashir as well. I mean, that quarter-final is going to be very special indeed. DANIPITBULL trying to break down Matthias Bonanno. Again, just very calm. He's the Argentine who, we have to say, has got unfinished business for this tournament, Gravison. He was a runner-up back in 2022. He lost in the grand final against Nicholas. Sort of feel like there's a Champions League-esque feeling in the air for him tonight, maybe.
I actually had the chance to go for a walk with him a couple of days ago, and we chatted for an hour or two about that specific match against Nicholas, and he feels like the Champions League owes him something. And I mean, Ryan, you talked about his backstage. Like, he feels so locked in. It's crazy.
You can sort of sense, even in the videos we saw earlier, when players saying, yeah, it's my tournament, etc., you can sort of believe it when Matthias is saying it. He says it with so much conviction and assurances. He could be conceding here. Build up. Great play from DANIPITBULL.
Big chance, Ron. And DANIPITBULL will pull himself back into this quarter-final tie. He did well just to find the extra pass, but by that point, Ryan, the goalkeeper was moved out of his goal. Yeah,
this little pass here from Modric is sensational. Extra pass, but then the green timing. You have to perfectly time that to perfection, aiming it to the near post. Obviously, the goalkeeper movement made his mind up already. And it's a response that DANIPITBULL needed. As we know with Matthias Bonanno, as the game ticks on, Gravison, he gets a lot more structured defensively. He's harder to break down.
Stronger, for sure. I mean, if we see the second half he played throughout the whole competition, he comes stronger. Only in that game against Levy.
That was a lot, yeah.
He didn't play that good against the constant press, but apart from that, he's been flawless, pretty much.
Looks a bit open here. Vidic does enough to get the ball.
It's curious because the only player that used Vidic in the last stage was Di Fernandez.
Yep.
And surely Danny has learned something from Di Fernandez because now he's using him.
Yeah, I think a lot of players were saying that Vincent Kompany was a little bit too slow for them. And obviously Vidic, aerial plus play style, offers a lot from corners offensively and defensively. Maybe could try to get in positions to nullify Didier Drogba.
And for the people at home, we've seen love for Emre, for Manu. Argentinians, where are you? No love for Matthias?
He's going to have to defend this attack from DANIPITBULL.
Modric. Drogba, power shots!
That was good.
Pulls out a massive save from Donnarumma, and in we go to a corner. Can we see if DANIPITBULL has been tidying up this part of his game? Drogba at that front post. There's the flick on, and
what a save.
If it wasn't again from the Italian shot stopper, it could have been 2-1. Lofted in again. It's an easy save and a chance just to breathe for Matthias Bonanno.
And it's something we've seen throughout the whole competition as well. Corners, we know how set pieces are important, corners as well. I mean, Mati has scored 1 goal with a corner already, but there's not much you can do. You can move the keeper, in this case Donnarumma. You can try to defend with a defender, but sometimes it's just luck, really.
Cafu. Oh, see you later. Minds Modric, cuts it back into Mbappe. Matthias Bonanno, take a bow.
It's sensational stuff, Brandon. Just the build-up, the Burrow scoop with Cafu right here. Left DANIPITBULL in the dust. The drag-back cancelled as well into the pass. And Mbappe across the face of goal. You trust him in those situations. And Matthias restores his 1-goal advantage just before half-time against DANIPITBULL.
This is a really important goal because of time. If Mati is able to defend these couple of attacks, it's really hard to play a second half. You're losing by a goal or a 2-goal deficit, even.
Look at the triggered runs as well from
left back's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not even the thing you have to pass the ball to them. It's just something that forces your opponent to play a switch. They have to manually track the run. And then look at the space now.
Well, chance coming in for Matthias Bonanno on your left-hand side of your screen, but you can see Riley. Both these games are a minute apart. Johnny still leading by a goal to 0. Nothing really more has happened in that game between him and Montaxa. There could be a big chance here, though, for Gvardiol, who's burst all the way forward from left back. Can he cause an issue or two? Drogba. This is DANIPITBULL, Juventus, trying to find a way back in. Could be his last chance at half. Toni Kroos.
Good defending.
Tries to slow it but he's also got 2 Real Madrid players on the defensive side that are just slowing him down. He does keep possession still. And may have just done enough.
Offside as well.
You think he's going to attack? I think this is going to be it for him, first half.
At his time of 1 minute.
He's going for it.
He's going to play the ball, but good tracking from DANIPITBULL. Should get the ball out there for half-time.
Well, half-time in that game, we'll see the last closing stages of Montaxa against Johnny. That's got added time of 1 minute, and it's Montaxa that might have enough time to have a good chance here. No, he won't. Tony Cruz defends it very well. And at the halfway point in this tie, it is Johnny that leads by a goal to 0, and I know someone else who's had a close eye on the action.
It just seems like he trusts himself completely, defensively and offensively. And when you play against somebody like that, it's a massive, massive task.
And that's why he's able to only attack with 3 players.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you're that good defensively, I mean, you don't got to score loads of goals.
Honestly, you can win 1-0.
1-0, 2-0, it's more than enough.
We're back underway for the second half here in the eChampions League. It's our quarter-final matchups. As Johnny leads Montaxa by a goal to 0. That one's just kicked off for the second half, and Matías Bonanno might be on a rampage to try and find a third.
Yeah, he's unlucky that Mbappe didn't take the ball in his stride a little bit better there.
Cavadio.
The second press.
Right time. One lofted on, you know where the flick-on's coming on. There it is. Luka Modric cuts it back. One more pass. Does he need it? No, he doesn't. DANIPITBULL. That is beautiful.
That's something we've seen a couple of times now. DANIPITBULL kind of, in this situation with Modric, you have a pass.
Yeah.
But he decides to just, the first time, he decided to extra pass, go for a shot. This time, he went for a direct shot.
Who is stopping
cancellation?
This man. Well, we have to choose a MasterCard moment of the match in our opening game here, guys. I mean, we've had 3 decent goals. Matías Bonanno's cut back for his second. We've had DANIPITBULL just score that. Ryan, are you pointing towards that Johnny?
I like that Johnny one just because of the shot cancel there. And again, he had to green time it. Here we go. Matías on the attack again. Tries a similar attack there. Vidic has come up clutch in so many defensive situations. Again, with DANIPITBULL, I think he gives a lot of players chances in the game just because of how aggressive he defends. He rushes out, he steps forward, but with Vidic, obviously a taller frame, he's able to intercept some passes and he can be a little bit more aggressive and trust him.
And one thing I really like when you see this kind of matches is the difference between leagues, because in the way at the moment DANIPITBULL is building up, it's similar to Hesser's. He's switching out the play, player locking into an attacker, and in a way Bonanno is attacking the same way that he attacked in the Premier League. Yeah. So you can see the clash of styles.
It's a weird one because I remember back in the days when we played, Italian players usually were very defensive. They weren't really too much attacking. There was a lot of possession play. DANIPITBULL was very aggressive.
Yeah, he's really aggressive. I remember back in 2018, for example, if you played Lionel.
Yeah.
He was
seeing the ball.
Now it's different.
Yeah. Good step again. It's just Vidic. It's perfect for him.
Massive chance to counter-attack here for DANIPITBULL. I mean, you could argue just about DANIPITBULL here. He's got a lot more on the line because he's not at the FC Pro World Championships. He's one of the 2 players out of the 8 that are not there. Lofted in towards the back post, heads it back inside on the volley. What a save, Donnarumma. But back to the point, Ryan. Di Fernandez and DANIPITBULL, the only 2 players that aren't at the FC Pro World Championships. Yes, they finished top 4 in their league.
He's gone.
But Matías Bonanno might have other ideas. And suddenly, it becomes a small mountain to climb here for DANIPITBULL. Where did that chance come from?
If you remember, just 10 minutes ago, he did a really poor touch with Mbappe.
Yes.
Which could have put him through. In this instance, the touch was perfect. Then he sprinted a couple of times with R2. He didn't think much, really. Finesse, green time.
It stemmed from the triggered run. I believe it was Pedri in midfield there. Hold on, we got a replay again. Johnny in on goal. Green time across goal, and it's just...
Can we just talk about it, Ryan? What is this player doing here? Remember, it's his first ever time in the eChampions League. It's first time that he's been here. He's in a grand final. He hasn't lost a single game since the virtual Bundesliga finals in Cologne. It just seems like he's playing with no fear.
It's just frightening playing against players that don't concede. Obviously, when we play Gravison in years gone by, it's the players and most fearful, in my opinion, are the ones that can defend extremely well. The ones that can attack, obviously, they're fearful. You have to be cautious of that. But if they're defending and attacking, this fruitful as Johnny, it's a dangerous, dangerous combination.
And the thing is, Montaxer scored 4 goals against Marley. He scored 4 goals against BH. He has scored 0 goals now against Johnny.
Quick response.
Modric. Times it reds. He knows what a big chance that was. He wins a corner, though, for his efforts.
Get Drogba.
You know where this one's going to end up. Nicolas Sule up against Didier Drogba. Where's he going to go? Drogba the front post. It's the German giant that defends it well. Recycles back to the edge of the box with Pedri. That's the question of where he wants to go from here. Gvardiol finds Drogba. DANIPITBULL! So composed. He didn't even need to time that one, Green.
I need to see that back. Do you know why? Because it's the touch he's took back. I think it's very obvious to take a touch and turn backwards with Drogba here. He receives it, just to turn down. He turns it the way the pass came, and it sort of catches Matthias. But I still expect my keeper to save that, if I'm being honest. It wasn't timed, Green. It was mistimed, but it's a good way back into the game for DANIPITBULL.
And especially Sule was put in the right back position, Cafu was a centre back, and when they change position, that's the space.
Exactly.
Well, guys, I just wanted to make a point over here. These two played each other in the World Championships last summer, and Montaxer eliminated Johnny 4-2 in the round of 16. It's safe to say Johnny's not forgotten about that game, because he's come back and he's 4-0 up in a quarter-final in the eChampions League. Montaxer has not had a chance, let alone a sniff in the game.
I didn't expect any blowout games. I felt as if there was one that could be a disparity in terms of the scoreline, it would have been this game. I thought Matthias would have won maybe by 2 or 3, maybe, but Johnny is on a different level right now.
And Ryan, you know about this. When you lose an important match as World Championships, you don't want to win against him. You're going to destroy your opponent.
Exactly.
Because you got to take revenge.
It's vengeance.
(3-3) here. This one is a lot closer of a tie. As we said, the headline news, Johnny leading 4-0 against Montaxer. And 3-3 here between Matthias BONANNO and DANIPITBULL. Remember, Mani Bashore takes on Emre Yilmaz after this one. Long ball in. Donnarumma, be careful, wins and keeps possession in his favour. Lots of love coming in from the chat. Keep it coming in, let us know.
Bilic again.
Who you are backing in the Champions League. There's the BONANNO fans we were calling for. Well, he needs you now because he's in a 3-3 matchup with just under 20 minutes left to be played.
That's huge. I don't think Pedri's winning that yet. Matthias can go forward.
Not again.
Horrible deflection. Mbappe is not going to win that battle, but Arnold's going to pick up the pieces.
What's going on? There's just pinball in the midfield.
Nice dribbling.
Watch the left-hand side there. Gvardiol has continued his run. If there was to be, there's that big switch. And now this is where you start to see Drogba, R9, all the names just queuing up in the box. Gvardiol, what have you got from here? The decision-making from DANIPITBULL in these areas has been so good. He now needs to up it to a new level.
Brilliant defense.
It's so structured, man. This is a counter-attack again. He has to manually track it.
Nicolas Sule trying to follow the run of R9, but has he got the legs on him? Does enough to delay him. Slight jockey there. It's a horrible deflection. It's going to be a free kick back the other way. It's interesting that as well, because not many people use Jimenez.
Yeah, exactly.
Matthias BONANNO is one of the only people that chooses to back the Uruguayan defender.
Yep, it's a useful choice for him. It's obviously a unique one at that. We go over to our other game. We left it at 4-0, Johnny. It's still 4-0. 20 minutes left for Montaxer to try and stem a comeback, but...
What went wrong here, Grav?
Nothing really. I mean...
If you just played against a player that's just on the top of his game.
Just played a player who's probably, at this point, unbeatable, in my opinion.
Yeah, because what is it now? If you add up the virtual Bundesliga, which was 14 wins, 2 draws, so 16 undefeated. The group stage and the knockout stage, 5 games. That's what, 21 games we haven't seen him lose. It's formidable. And if Montaxer was to even equalise, he'd have to score more goals than everybody that's played against him in the eChampions League combined.
He doesn't want to concede either, does he?
It's crazy.
And that's a brilliant analysis Richard did over there with the Schneider. It's the main part of the game, and that's why he's able to break down the defenses and of course the counter-attacks.
Seeing Beasley off the bench, seen that a few times. I think that's a weak point, in my opinion.
I don't like him. as well. And I think Guardiola is really strong.
Yeah.
And if you want to put someone in that position, I don't know, maybe you can go with... There's not much really, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
There's not much really.
He's quick, obviously rapid plus play style helps a lot. But again, he's just somebody defensively, I think.
What are you thinking about? Jude Bellingham maybe? Xavi Simons?
Xavi Simons, I've seen him used potentially, but I don't know, I just...
Long ball forward from Marcus Beasley, who certainly won't be taking up much of the budget in the 15 million coins that were available to all of our eChampions League finalists to build their ultimate teams.
Great ball.
Is he onside, Mbappe? Yes, he is. Lofted in, there's Robinho, but that one's going to end. Donnarumma! Big save! And this is where he can be deadly again. Front post flick on, another save, and it's a tap-in! For Matías Bonanno, who may just be on his way to the semi-finals of this year's eChampions League if he can hold on, but it all came from this chance here.
It was green time. Keeper does enough to save it, but not enough to keep it out of reach of an open goal finish for Matías. That chance there, if I want to speak on it, it all stems from, again, the way DANIPITBULL defends. He sort of runs back with both of his fullbacks. It leaves one player back and then 3 players in the line. There's a lot of space in behind. Matías has started to realize that a lot more, playing balls in behind to Mbappe, to Drogba, to R9, and eventually it's going to lead to a chance, and it did.
Especially with the ball from cross to Mbappe, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it should have probably been a goal with Drogba, but then when you kind of consider a corner to Matías, it's just too much.
Was he going to find a fifth? Wins himself a corner. Does Johnny, who is running away with the tie. If we can, we'll jump back over to our other matchup, because that one has got 6 minutes left. As it stands, it will be Johnny against Matías Bonanno in the semi-final stages of this year's eChampions League. Remember, following this will be the 2 PSV players that go head-to-head in the quarterfinals. Manu Bashore against Emre Yilmaz, the current eChampions League winner, and the German Levi Finn against the Portuguese player Indy Fernandez. Bonanno dancing around the box, then Mbappe back to R9, step over after step over. He's on his way to a semi-final in the eChampions League. He has got unfinished business in this competition.
I mean, you talk about the best goal of the quarterfinals, in my opinion, is this one. It's not only the step overs, but then the extra pass coming in from Mbappe to R9 again. Well, that was beautiful, and Matías can do it all. He can score corners, he can go with the long ball passes, and he can dribble as well.
Yep, exactly. It's a great goal, and for me, that ties up the game. It will be Matías up against Johnny in the semi-finals. That is a massive, massive game.
I mean, if there's someone that can score goals against Johnny, surely has to be Matías with the corners.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Just a few minutes. And this is probably, this is going to be GG with Drogba holding the ball.
Just smart play.
It's just not enough time to score a couple of goals.
You have to remember, Matías Bonanno was 3-0 down 10 days ago in his knockout matchup against Ricardo Portugal. Everyone thought he was on his way out. He didn't. 2 minutes of added time. Even if DANIPITBULL was to get a goal now, there just would not be enough time. It's commiserations to Juventus, who will fall out of the champions. Still a great achievement. Now the 41 players that turned up at the group stages a few weeks ago. It was a real back and forth tie, but Matías Bonanno of Manchester City will be going through to the top 4.
I think it's deserved. I think he struggled a bit when he was 3-2 and then conceded a goal, but then with 3-3 I think he was the better player out of the 2 of them. And I mean, Johnny against Montaxer, I certainly didn't expect this strong of a result.
And this is who he's playing against. Johnny of SC Paderborn, who is having the season of his life.